Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Our Perspective. As you can see, I have a guest here with me. I have Adriana.
Hi.
You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
I am Adriana. I am a mama. I love saying that about myself. I'm a freaking mama.
Period.
Right now I'm a little bit getting, wetting my toes a little bit into the content creation, working on me, my, positivity, my skin. You'll see a lot of that if you follow me.
Period. We love that. You talked about you're getting into a little bit. What made you start wanting to do that?
Honestly, I feel like I need to get myself out of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the ways, I also obviously want to make money. Everybody wants to make money, especially if you can do it on the internet or by your content, of course. But really, me putting my content out and putting myself out there is more just so I can just be in my I don't know how to say it, like in the biggest element, I guess.
Period.
Like in me, like feel myself, and be self-confident, things like that. And putting yourself out there would really force yourself to be self-confident because people are looking at you and judging you and things like that. So that's really what made me want to do content creating. It's fun, but I also just want to get out of my comfort zone.
I love that. You've always been a little more on the shy side. So
yeah, a little bit. I always say I'm so awkward. Like, I don't know. I try not to be awkward, but yeah, I'm for sure awkward.
She's killing it though. She's killing it. Period. So as you can see from the title of this episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about femininity, walking in your soft girl era. What does that mean? What does that look like? And how you can do that also. Even if you're masculine, like letting your shoulders drop a little bit, So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Honestly, me being in my feminine energy happened, I would say this year, or end of last year, being in, into this year. And I don't know, I think I was craving, my soft girl era. Like, I don't want to be, hard or defensive all the time or, having to act like a man, things like that. I want to be in my soft girl era, just at peace, and my life has been really peaceful, so that just trickles down into being a better person and just being the best me I can be every day.
Period. I think we could speak a little bit about that, on the mental health aspect, as far as being able to just release and not feeling like you have to control things that are out of your control, because honey, I struggled with that too. Oh my gosh.
I feel like a big part of that is because I do see that in your content too. You have to work through things that have to do with other people.
Yes.
But just work through it within yourself.
Yes.
So family trauma,
yes.
Parent issues, relationship issues, things like that. Sometimes you can't drop it or resolve the issue with that person. You have to do that within yourself and just forgive the person for yourself, or just heal from the issue from yourself, so that way you can move on with your life and become a better person. When you're carrying so much burden, it takes a lot of energy out of you. So
it does.
I think that plays a big part of it.
Yes, a lot of people struggle with that. I struggle with that because it's I want to bite back.
Yeah. Same.
I want to bite back hard. But now I'm trying to take opportunities to work on self-reflection. All right, what can be better? Because I really want to.
Yeah. Right. Catch me outside.
Okay. Catch me outside. But there's so much beauty in that, being able to reflect, and where these feelings come from, how you react also plays a role in how situations pan out. So being able to control emotions, there's so much softness within that and beauty within that. And you don't have to let it consume your whole day. Yeah. It happened, that's it. Boom.
Yeah. That's it. Move on.
Okay? Yes. So can you talk a little bit about some self-reflection you have done to be able to step into this new you?
Yeah. Honestly, I had to think about, for me, I feel like me being so guarded and having that barrier and frustration, and I would say a grudge. That's what I would say. Having a grudge, that took a lot out of me, and I would say more times than not, I would feel a way about a lot of things. Specifically, and we're not gonna get too much into it, but I hate saying it because I don't want to give too much light to this person, but like daddy issues is one of the issues that made me feel like I have to be like dominant. I can't let my soft side come out. I have to like, you know, stand my ground and always defend myself. So just like reflect, that is a big reflection. Like I always think about it. Even to this day, I've moved on from it, but it's like, should we talk about the issue? Should we? But I also think about the cons. Like what will come out of talking to this person about the things that's happened or trying to work on it. It's just more negatives than positives. So I just really had to dig deep. And when I say deep, I mean real deep. Because that is a deep root of a deep issue. Yes. And I just had to learn how to really forgive him for myself and just, like, move on. Like, just say I'm cool. Like, you can ask anybody in my life right now. I literally am cool on the whole situation. I'm not mad at it. I don't hold any more grudges. None of that. Another thing that played into it is my man. Like, I can't give him enough praise. Him being the father that he is to my daughter just healed that part for me. Like it literally healed that part for me. So that was another thing that made it easy, or not easy, but you know, made me be able to work towards being in my soft girl era, because I don't matter anymore when it comes to this little girl. Like it's her. So as long as she don't have the same issue as me, we're good. So that's really it.
Period. She over here breaking generational curses.
I'm trying.
Period. Also, there's like some realizations that come with people aren't only gonna speak from the perspective that they're in. Yeah. So if they're not even in the space of growing and being open-minded and being receptive to what you're saying, you're hitting a wall. Yeah. Like. Yeah. And there's a lot of forgiveness that comes with that too. Can you talk about how you're setting boundaries around being able to fulfill your soft girl era? Because with that's boundaries also. Yeah. So for me, it's just like with that area, it's just like we're good. Like there's no real boundary I have to set with that, because like there's already a clear understanding. As far, I'm sure he understands, you know, like just leave me alone. And I don't really care to like, you know, reconcile things anymore just because I moved on. But as far as like other people, there definitely are boundaries. Like I used to have friends that would like pull me into an era where it's like drama. And I was 100% with it because it's just, you know, it's entertaining to me. I can say that. Drama is entertaining to me. So when my friends got into it, like, oh yeah, I'm writing for you. When, you know, my sister, like, there's a lot of people that used to be drama filled, and I was like, okay with it. And that's like one thing is like a non-negotiable. My life is so at peace right now. So if, you know, you are pulling me into drama, if you are just acting weird, or, you know, you're not giving me the energy I'm giving you, you're just done. Like, it's a non-negotiable. You're just getting left right where you're at, and that's it. That's really the boundary. Like, treat me how I treat you. Give me the energy I give you. Don't bring no negative energy or any other type of energy but positivity to my life. And if you are doing anything other than that, you're done here. So that's really it. Period. And some of us are so consumed with that negativity. It's a big distraction. Yeah. It's a big distraction on our goals, on who we want to be, on the people we hang around with. Like, honey. Yeah. Honey.
Like, arguing all the time is not it. Like, I barely argue with my man. Like, we argue, of course. People go through things, but, like, it ain't that. We don't argue every day and stuff like that. And like I said, my life is just so at peace right now. Like, if we're arguing and we're friends, you're not even sleeping in my bed, like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Period. How did you go through that phase of like just?
Honestly, my man, like I can say that for sure, and it's not what he does. Actually, no, that's wrong to say. It is what he does, but it's not like he is like. How do I say? Like, he's not, hand and feet. He's not kissing me in hand and feet, but he's showing me what a man is and what a man should be doing.
Period.
Like, I've been in relationships before where I was the breadwinner. I'm, you know, the moneymaker. I basically am the man and the, you know, woman in the relationship, and then I have an extra woman. Like, that's how I always was. I was always the breadwinner. And in this case, I am not the breadwinner. And I love that for me. Like, I don't want to be the breadwinner. But he's also showing me what a man should be doing, you know, doing for their woman. He's showing my daughter, like, how a man should treat, you know, a woman, and she's gonna look up to that. He actually does, like, he's shown me a lot of things that not even my own father showed me. Like, you know, my father has shown me opposite. And we've been through a lot of things where, like, I would do things that would just be like a reaction based off of my, you know, generational curse or past relationships and stuff. And he like, nah, you're good. Like, you're done. Don't do that. Like, you know, there's been times where he was ready to walk away, but instead of walking away, he showed me, like, this is what you're not gonna do because I'm doing this. I'm providing for us. I'm being a man to us. I'm not playing you in any way. I'm not beating you up. I'm not, you know, making you look crazy on the internet. Like, I'm really being a man. And that's really what it is. It took a long time. Like, me and him together for 4 years, going on 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. And I had, like, this guard up for him for the longest time, but, like, it's always been consistent with him. He's never fell off. He's never shown me, like, he's a brokey or anything like that. Like, I need to support him in any way. He's always been consistent. So that's made me feel really comfortable to, like, just let my guard down and just be able to, like, swiftly enter my soft girl era, like, I would say.
Period. I love that. What advice would you give to someone who is kind of struggling with this right now or feel like they have to be guarded?
I would say you have to be comfortable within yourself. Like, that's the biggest thing. And we could take the man situation out of there. Like, that's just how it happened for me. But people who are not in a relationship, people who are, you know, just focusing on themselves, it's the same thing. You have to be comfortable within yourself. If you have any trauma or just, like, anything that you're holding on to, a grudge, just any negative energy, you have to work and learn how to face it. Like, and sometimes it's hard, you know, like, when I was trying to face the stuff with my daddy issues and stuff, for me, I'm not emotional at all. But, like, that process was a very emotional process for me. And I hated every freaking bit of it because I'm not a crier. Like, I hate crying. When people cry around me, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know how to handle that. Like, it's just uncomfortable for me. So when it's me crying, it's even more. It gives me the ick. I hate it so bad. But I had to go through it. I had to go through the hard for it to then be able to release it and it be easy. So if you're wanting to enter your soft girl era, you really have to work through the hard to get to the soft, basically. That's how I'm going to put it. Work through the hard to get through to the soft. Like, that's really it.
Period. Yeah. It's definitely easier said than done, and there's so much to release.
Yes.
There's so much to release. Like, we can say, you can do this, but
right.
Doing it?
Right. We can tell you how to do it, but when you're actually doing it and going through the pain.
Yes.
Oh, no.
What? I also am uncomfortable sometimes when people cry in front of me, and you may look at me like I'm a hypocrite because I'm in mental health and I work with people, but it's like, I'm a human too.
Yeah.
Like, there's many times where I have to be guarded, or there's, like, life experiences where I've had to be, and it's like, hold on. I wasn't ready for that. But being in therapy, I'm a strong believer in that. Go get you some therapy. Being in therapy has allowed me to have space for myself, for my emotions, and being able to reinvent my nervous system, because that's really what it is. Your nervous system, when you're in fight or fright mode and you want to just escape a situation, or you're so guarded, you need to, because I'm a quick.
Yeah.
Being able to address those, where those come from and things like that, allows you to just drop your shoulders, and that's a process within itself. It's probably not going to be a month, it's probably not going to be a year, maybe not even 2 years, but
it's going to be 4.
Yes, it goes as fast as much as you're working at it.
Yeah.
And I would say also to that, like, being in pretty much your best self, your highest self, you build a routine.
Yes.
Build a routine.
Yes.
Because that is going to save you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect.
Right. Sometimes we fall off the routine.
Yes. Yes. But making a routine where you're taking care of yourself, in the morning or at night or maybe once a week, twice a week, it helps a lot because you're giving back to yourself. You're not looking for that for other people to do that for you. You're doing it for you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Period.
I would definitely agree on that, like the routine. Because that's another thing that's been making me feel like I'm like in my highest self. That's a good word. Like I like that. In my highest self, for sure. Like for me, when it came to my skincare, I would only do my skincare at night or like in the morning, 2 times a week. Like I wasn't consistent with my routines. So, or I would like quickly wash my face in the shower and then put lotion on, you know, like things like that. But I've implemented a actual routine, like a morning routine, a night routine, and it consists of like maybe a 6-step skincare, like, and I love it. Like that's the littlest change, but it makes me feel good about myself because my skin is clean and I just feel clean and it's glowing, and I'm working towards a skin goal, and being able to see my skin change and get to that goal, it's also rewarding and makes you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely. And your morning routine doesn't have to be like 20 steps.
Yeah, you could do a 3-step, you know,
Yes.
like wash, moisturizer, toner or something.
Even without skincare, like you're making dinner for yourself. Okay, now you're gonna journal, go brush your teeth, take a shower, go to bed. It doesn't have to be like a whole thing, because when you overwhelm yourself, you will fall off quicker.
Yes.
Make it like as simple as possible, and then you can build up from that. Definitely structure helps for me because I'm busy and everything is just everywhere all the time.
Yeah. That part.
Could barely keep up with stuff. But creating lists also. Even if you have a thought you need to do X, Y, and Z when you gotta work, or you need to do this like during the week, I'm putting in my notes. So I remember when I'm writing out in my planner what I need to do. Also a planner. I swear by it. What? Swear by it. I don't know how people live without a planner. No. But just finding ways to help you be your best self, whether it be a planner, whether it be journaling, whether it be praying, whether it be exercising, skincare, whatever it is that you feel a itch to do, that you need to get back on your stuff, do it. Definitely do it.
I just want to piggyback off the therapy thing that you said. So I just want to say, because for her, she's been, you know, getting to her higher self working therapy. I can say I'm the opposite. Not saying that I'm against therapy or anything like that. For me, it's just I haven't found a therapist that I'm comfortable with. Like every time I go to a therapist, I feel like it's someone who's just there to listen and get you out of there. Like they're not really there to help you. So that's just me not being able to find a therapist. But I've been able to do it through journaling. You know, there's other outlets. You might not be comfortable with a therapist, or you might have the same, you know, reason as me. You just didn't find anyone that's compatible with you. I know multiple people who go to therapists and multiple people who don't go to therapy, you know? Therapy, if I had someone great to go to, I would love to do it. But journaling is also a good thing that helps me. I love journal prompts. Like, if you can get me to write all this stuff down, like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Let me put it all on paper and then burn it right up after that. Like, I've done that multiple times where I felt like I wanted to cuss someone out, and I cussed them out on the paper, burned it right up after that, and that made me feel so much better, because not only did I not cuss someone out, which is, you know, it's a goal for me, because I cuss a lot, like probably every sentence if I'm not around my kid. Like there's a F or a B up in there somewhere. But that's one of my goals too, not to cuss. So when I'm like wanting to cuss someone out, I write that down and I burn it right up after that, and that literally makes me feel like I cussed them right out. Seriously.
Period. Also, with the therapy thing, don't be discouraged. It's like dating. You're not gonna find your person. Like, you're not.
Agreed.
My first therapist, I had two. My first therapist I was with for 2 years. She was just not it after a while. I'm like, I need more. We're not getting nowhere. So you have to be able to recognize that too. This new one,
we like that.
Ain't no switching up. Okay, I told her you need to have this career path for a long time. We're not going nowhere. And the aspect with journaling, very helpful. It's a release. It's literally a release. Just because you're writing it down and nobody's gonna look at it, doesn't mean you are releasing the emotions on paper. Or even if you're journaling on your phone, your iPad. Speaking of, we dropped a journal. Okay.
I'm gonna have that hoe too.
Yeah, period.
Can you say
period.
here?
Period. We have a digital journal. Okay. We have a digital journal and a physical copy coming very soon, talking about imposter syndrome, generational trauma, generational curses, what success looks like to us, and it's more geared toward minorities because you gotta love on us.
Yeah.
Gotta love on us. Everything is not universal. Yeah. And there's some things that we experience alone that other people don't. So if you want to get into your little journaling era where you're getting into your higher self, go check that out. But yes, it's a definite big help. And I know that everybody's not into journaling. And there are people who find like recording themselves venting, recording themselves like video recording or audio recording, who find it just as good. It's literally a release. So definitely. What other things besides your skincare have you been like taking care of yourself as far as being in your soft girl era?
I would say just keeping up with myself like as a whole. Like my lashes are not like a necessity to me because at some point that's part of my journey. I want to be comfortable without these. Like I'm tired of them already, but I want to be comfortable like going out in the world, working all day with no lashes, people looking at me straight in my eyes. Like that's one thing I'm working towards, but like keeping up with my nails. Like sometimes I'll go bare nails, but now I've been like doing my nails every 2 weeks, like keeping up with my nails, my toes, waxes, taking a freaking walk, like getting air. You know, I'm more of a nature person, so I like that anyway, but I'm not one to just go out and go take a walk. You know, I'm like planning with people like, yeah, let's go on a hike. I'm trying more to like spend more time with myself, I would say. Keep up with myself and spend more time with myself. Like learn to be comfortable with being by myself instead of having to do things with other people. Go on solo dates, go on solo lunches. Take yourself on a freaking shopping spree or on a freaking dinner date, something like that. Like I've been doing more things like that, just catering to me and pouring into myself instead of pouring into other people. You know, you're always going to have to pour into other people, especially if you have kids or a boyfriend or you live with someone. You know, you're always going to be pouring into someone. But I feel like a lot of people forget about themselves. And I can say I'm one of them. And that's why it's very important to me to work on myself and just be in my higher power or my higher self because I've poured into, you know, both, my whole cup was into my man and my daughter, like keeping the family together, keeping the house together, you know, like making sure our house is clean, our clothes are clean, all that stuff. And I'm just like, wait, but what about me? Because I look like a mom. That's it. Like, so I want to look like a person and not a mom. So that's really little things like that. Little changes are the most effective. If you're working towards, you know, if you're just working to one big goal, you're not going to see any change or any progress because it doesn't take one day to fix, you know, or get to that one big goal that you want. It takes multiple days. But if you're working to be 1% better every day, that's way better. You know, that's more accommodating or that's a easier way for you to achieve your goals rather than trying to get one big goal and achieve that. And then, you know, you might get discouraged or you might fall off rather than you saying like, okay, today I want to start building a routine for my skin, and now you're, you know, coming up with a skincare routine, making the routine in your each day, you know, like putting the routine in each day, or I'm gonna go for a walk every night, or you know, doing little things like that. That's more attainable than, you know, doing a big goal that's not really attainable within the first week or 2 weeks or something like that.
I promise you, once you get through that goal, even if it's big or the small one you set for yourself, it's not as hard.
Yeah.
Like, you will think to yourself, like, I was really procrastinating over that. Like, that was like 1, 2, 3.
That was easy.
Yes. That was 1, 2, 3. And it's really based off fear. Like, the more you procrastinate, the more fear is built. And the more you, like, have more attention to the fear, the more it grows and grows. And then you're just not doing shit. Like, you're not doing nothing.
And I would say that's... I encourage more people to step out their comfort zone.
Yes.
Like, please do.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Because that will, like, that implements the fear. Stepping out of that comfort zone implements the fear. And once you freaking bypass that fear, you'll feel unstoppable. Really. You'll feel unstoppable. Because, like I said, I I'm nervous putting out each and every one of my contents. Even if I look so comfortable and I'm like I'm still nervous, okay?
Nobody would know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Nobody would know that you're scared or you're nervous or you were hesitating for 3 days to post that video or something like that. No one will ever know that. But you. But you. And if you didn't post it, then you're like, dang, maybe I should have posted it. Or, you're regretting not stepping out of your comfort zone. Or sometimes you might have the same goal as other people around you and you were scared to step out of your comfort zone, but that person was not. So now you're like, dang, we could have been doing this together. Or, I could have did this too. Even if it's on separate playing fields, you guys could have been doing the same things, but you could have been doing it for yourself. And now this person's doing it for yourself and you're like, damn, I should have stepped out of my comfort zone. But it's also never too late to step out of your comfort zone.
It's never too late. And you never know who's watching.
Right.
Like, you never know who's watching. Do not get discouraged at all. Do not get discouraged. Because one of your thoughts or your goals that you have for yourself can turn into something that you never thought it would be.
Dreamed of.
Yeah. Literally. And now you're setting the bar higher. Like, go off.
Yeah.
Go off. I would say, I could speak a little bit to, like, stepping out of your comfort zone. Even, like, as small as going to the gym by myself. I was...
I'm not going there, girl. I'm still trying to step out of that zone because oh my god,
I was not getting dressed for the gym. I was thought it was going with me. No way.
That's me.
Even my gym at the time where I lived was 5 minutes from where I lived, and I was not going unless someone came with me. I was not. But once I'm like, all right, it's the morning, nobody's really there. I'm gonna just go, girl. I'm going all the time now.
Yeah. That's me. I'm still trying to step out of that zone, okay? That little comfort zone right there. I'm still trying to step out. And it's only because just the watchers. Like, you guys make me nervous. Like, stop watching me while I'm working out.
Put your silent headphones on.
Yeah, I gotta do that, yeah.
Yes.
But I'm trying to also come up with a routine where I can just go in the morning like you, like when nobody's there. Because that'll be just so much easier and so much comforting if you're just there with nobody. Because I'm sure nobody likes going to the gym at 5 o'clock when it's packed.
Yes.
You can't even get on a machine. You can't even get a weight.
Yes.
Because it's so freaking packed. Everybody's going after work. So maybe if you are that type of person like me, like try to plan to go at a time where nobody's in the gym. That's a goal, okay? Stay tuned, okay?
Yes.
Come check on me in maybe like a month or two. See if I did it.
Yes. And the smallest goal is maybe, okay, I'm going to go on Saturday. It's not, I'm going to go 5 times a week.
Yes.
That's like
I'm a go is the goal.
Yes, you're setting yourself up for failure if you're going to say that to yourself.
Yeah.
No, do not do that. But at least once a week, okay, I'm going to go by myself. Maybe the other time I'm going to go with somebody. Boom. Now I'm going to like it. And I'm going to start going with myself because who want to depend on nobody?
Yeah.
Like, and what helps is I live in a town where there's a whole bunch of old people. So.
Oh, so they ain't worried about you. They're worried about making sure their needs are
yes. Yes, I'm in my zone, okay? But yes, start working on that fear. Seriously, it's holding you back. It is holding you back, and you want to be your best self, your highest self. Do not let nobody or anything discourage you from that. So what advice would you give to someone like a younger you or someone who is in a space where you were at your lowest? Who's in that space right now?
Can I answer both of those questions? Because I think I have advice for both. Okay.
Yes, there you go.
So if I had to give advice to my younger self, it would be to cut people off. Like, do yourself a favor, girl, because you done put yourself through some stuff. That's what, like, I would tell my younger self that, like, don't be naive. Don't put your blinders off. Take them hoes off. Like, take them hoes off. Because, there's been so many times where, and this doesn't even have to be just with a relationship, like, just people in general that I've had in my life that I've loved so much as a friend, as a person, as a boyfriend, as whatever. I've loved so much, and I didn't want to lose that person, but obviously I was so young to not know that life goes on and you meet better people. And, the people who are for you will be for you and will be with you. And so for my younger self, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you had to do better. You had to do better. But I would say for the people who are at their lowest self right now, you're going to have to stand up. That's what you're going to have to stand up. Because there was a point where I was super low. Like, I didn't think things would turn around. Like, no one, and when I say nobody would want to help me, I would mean, like, nobody in my family wanted to help me. not even like my grandma, okay, sorry siblings, but I would say my grandma, like, I'm her favorite.
She's
like,
so sweet.
If there's anyone in my family,
Yes.
both my mom and my dad's side, my grandma, I could say I know for sure I am her favorite. I don't care what she says, I know that for sure, for a fact. But even her, and you know, like, things like that hurt you so bad and just make you go low. Like, even got to a point where I felt like just gray. Like, gray. There was no color. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it was real bad. It was real bad. And I just one day, like, had to stand up. Like, I had to just do it for myself. Like, I always had my own stuff, but like my apartment, get my own apartment, get your car, get your own car, get yourself together. Even if you don't got the means to get in a car or an apartment, get a job, save your money. Like, I was terrible with money when I was at that point. Honestly, I was spending all my money on food and freaking weed because and alcohol because I wanted to escape what I was going through. And that was terrible. But one day I just literally woke up and I'm like, I cannot do this for me. Like, this is not how I see myself. I can't. And you literally have to look at yourself like, do you really see yourself like this? Like, is this really the life that you see yourself living? And you have to stand up and just make the changes that are necessary for you to be 1% better every day. Just work at a goal that would make you 1% better every day, better than yesterday. Like, for me, yesterday I barely drank water. Today my goal is to drink my whole freaking bottle of water if I can. Like, and I have a what's that called? TJ Maxx cup, the big one. Okay, I'm trying to finish that by the end of today. That's my 1% better. So it literally can be as small as that. Just set a small goal for yourself and just work at being a better you every day.
Period. She said a lot of gems in there. She said a whole lot of gems in there. I want to touch on the one day thing. Like, you hear a lot of stories where people say one day just clicked, or one day I just got up, one day this. And you're probably wondering, when is my one day coming?
Yes.
But that's up to you.
Yes.
It is up to you.
That part.
Because
that part.
20 days could pass by. You still haven't. It's still
not
haven't clicked.
that one day. Yes. It's still not that one
It
day.
still haven't clicked. But if you're implementing very small things to get back to yourself and take care of yourself, it's going to come. It is going to come. And ultimately, you can't rely on other people to help you.
Yes.
Because
sometimes they ain't gonna help you.
Yes, exactly.
It's just that simple. They're not gonna help you.
Whether they're there or not, they could be looking at you. Like,
right. They could be your actual blood family.
Yes.
They're not gonna help you. You gotta help yourself.
Yes, and that's something that I had to accept also. First of all, it's like there's a whole level of acceptance and grief that you have to go through with yourself, with your life, with the people around you. But once you get through that acceptance and you're able to, like, okay, there's the other side to this. Because two things can exist at once. I'm depressed, I feel like shit, I feel blah, blah, blah. But also, what am I going to do?
Right.
Like, am I going to sit here? Or am I going to get up? And there's a whole lot of grief that comes with that. But that's something I had to realize, too. Like, my own parents.
Yeah, that'd be it. Your parents.
They will look at you.
That be it.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's literally up to you. And for a long time, you may go through a phase of blaming them.
Yes.
Okay,
I, like, literally, because there was a time where I was really mad at my mom. Like, I was still talking to my mom, but I blamed her for a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff that she definitely should take accountability for and have taken accountability for, because there was a lot of things that she was at fault for. So I held on to that for the longest time, and I'm sure maybe she will be watching this right now and she's like, I didn't even know that. Like, I'm sure. But then there's also, she can also think back and say, like, I know she was mad at me, or I know they, as all her children, I know they were mad at me. I know this is my fault. And we are at a better place, but I can also say the same thing for my dad. We don't talk at all. There was a time we didn't talk for like 5 years. This time, who knows? Like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not really worried about that because I'm in my element right now, and that just doesn't bring peace. But you have to, with your parents, you really have to dig deep, and that's, like we said, if you have to go to therapy for it, if you have to journal, because those, obviously, they gave birth to you, they helped build you, make you a person, so it's heartbreaking, going through things with your parents, but you really have to dig deep and, like, heal yourself. Just heal yourself, even if they won't heal you, if they won't help you, if they don't want to apologize, if they don't think they're wrong, because all of those things could be true. They can be your parents, and they can also hurt you in the worst way. They can literally, and then, you know, they might not take accountability. They might not think they're wrong. They, you know, they might say, oh, it happened because you did this or you did that. And it's like, are you the parent or am I?
Hello.
So you really have to dig deep and work within yourself, especially if you're going through that family trauma, generational curses, even, you know, things with your friends or whatever the case is. We obviously don't know everybody's life, but we can for sure speak on family trauma.
Hello.
And if it comes to your parents, you really have to dig deep. Like, that's not an easy one for sure. Like, for sure.
People are only going to respond in the perception they're in.
And even with your parents, you have to set a boundary.
Yes.
Even if they don't like that boundary, you have to set it. And you have to stand on it. If you don't stand on it, they're obviously going to be like, oh, bye. Like, they're going to walk over that boundary. They're going to knock that thing down. Like, you have to set the boundary and you have to stand on it. And if they don't respect it, then that's when you have to decide, like, okay, all right, am I going to keep letting them walk all over me, or am I going to cut them off?
Yes.
And you just got to do what's best for you.
Yes, absolutely. And forgiveness doesn't mean I'm going to keep communicating with them.
Yes.
Because
the forgiveness is for you.
Yes.
It's for you.
Yes, I can forgive and still be away because that's my sanity.
Yes.
And I'm protecting myself.
Yes.
And a lot of parents look at us as an extension of them, and that's where it's toxic.
Yes.
Very toxic. Because they have unrealistic expectations of us, or maybe we don't want to go the route they want us to go, and that's okay too. But getting over that hump and being able to separate yourself, because you're your own identity. You are who you're going to be. That's it. You're not this person's child. I mean, you are, but you don't identify as this person's child. As you're growing into yourself, you are you. So being able to become your best self and your highest self, you need to separate that. Separate that extension. And a lot of them are projecting a lot of things onto us that they didn't solve.
Yes.
And that is not personal to us. It is not. It's still a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because
it ain't got nothing to do with you, but they're making it have something to do with you.
Yes, exactly. And that just comes from a space of not having a lot of knowledge, not really getting through that trauma, so they're gonna blame. And we're in that space sometimes, or we were once in that space where we're gonna blame, because we're not in our best self.
Yes.
We're not in our best self. So definitely start to unpack that when you are ready. And just take care of you. Literally, take care of you. That's the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Take care of you. Yeah. This was good.
I know. This was good. Juicy.
Period. I love it. Please make sure to check out our book recommendations tab, because we have some good gems on there based on mental health and generational curses, and we also have some leisure reading. They're all coming from me.
She read these books.
Yes, period. So I'm firsthand giving you my opinion. But yes, please make sure to check that out. And
if you are really wanting to work on being 1% better every day, I would say read Atomic Habits. I actually read that book because she read that book. I saw it on her social media, and I'm like, oh, let me get into it. And that's what I'm telling. That is a big thing that touches on. You have to work on the smaller goals before you try to work on the bigger goals, because they're more attainable than the bigger goals. So definitely recommend reading that book if you're a reader.
And take notes and annotate that book. Don't be afraid. That's how you learn, okay? I just want to thank Adriana for coming and joining us for Our Perspective. Please go check her out. I will leave her social media somewhere on here. And make sure to go check out our journal that we just dropped and our bookmarks that we just dropped. If you love to read, if you want to start getting into your journaling era, please do so. And yeah, we will see you next episode. Bye. That was cute.
Fun.
I love that.